But when he started moving you, he obviously moved you out of it, and he moved
Mm.
you into a career. And how did that go? How did it go moving from that and accepting that, I guess, because you'd been planning for the last 6, 7 years to be in
Yeah.
ministry. How do you accept that change of pace and that change that he's put before you?
Um, it was it wasn't easy, and I knew the change would come with a bit of criticism,
100%.
based on what I had spent the last 4 years of my life doing. Um, but I guess it kind of just all worked itself out in the end. I knew it was going to be something that I couldn't take control of, and I knew that whatever plans I had, God can change them, and He'll go through with His plans in the end.
Yeah.
So I guess for me, it was more a matter of, all right, just let go and let God.
Mm.
That's really what it came down to.
Yeah, it's I think that's basically hitting the nail on the head there, bro. And I guess I'm trying to just push the notion of you can still go to Bible college, you can get a great education, you can get a great understanding of how God's word works,
Mm,
but then be called into some other part of life and it not be considered a waste of time.
yeah, I
When,
think the same. Even my dad, for example, he's the same example. He went through the 4 years of Bible college, but wasn't in full time ministry till only a couple of years ago.
yeah, his 50s, like that's a
Yeah,
very big, he's told me the story. That is a very long waiting time for God to say, okay, you're ready.
exactly. Like for him, no doubt he would have said. He even tells the story. He was ready to go into ministry, but God was like, "No, this is not where I want you at the moment. I want you to go through the accounting, build your own business, and do stuff like that." And then when the time came, God opened up the door, and yeah, like we said, he didn't enter ministry till really only a couple of years ago.
Now, on that Bible college sort of training ground, um, when I started Bible college, your dad basically forced me into it.
Hmm.
He said, listen, just do 1 year. He goes, just do 1 year, try it out and see what happens. And I
Yeah.
hate the fact I have to say he was right. And I tell him that all the time. Um, I went from hating it, absolutely hating every second of it, to
Hmm.
absolutely adoring it and loving it. I think it is beneficial for every single Christian coming out of school to do at least 1 year online. Well, I do it online. You went overseas. What do
Yeah.
you think of that? Because I think it is probably the most beneficial thing I've ever done in regards to my Bible study.
Yeah.
Because it taught. I've never been a studier. I always just passed classes. I never studied, but
Mm.
it taught me how to study the Bible and it taught me the importance of putting time in. What do you think about that?
I agree with you 100%. And the skills you learn in Bible college, you can take on with the rest of your life. For me, even personally, you go through your the sermon courses, how to study for a sermon, how to write down and how to deliver it. And I've used all of those things practically every sermon I start. I had set it out the exact same way from how I was learned at Bible college. So you learn something, and I'm pretty sure the same thing would happen with you when you're going through those counseling or even youth courses. It's stuff that you can practically use in your ministry, and I think it'd be definitely beneficial for people to even just give one year. Even you don't even have to give a full year. Even if you did part time, hey, I want to do this course, or I only want to do one class or two classes.
Mm.
It's definitely not a waste of time. It's not a waste of money, and it's very beneficial. And you'll use those skills in your ministry, and bring them out and practically use them.
And that's the really cool part about it is how practical it is. That's the one thing I hated about school was how much that you'd learn and you'd be like, I'm never going to use this in my
Oh,
life.
100%.
Even when there are those types of courses in Bible college, you do find little nuggets that you know you can use eventually.
Mm,
And what's great is both West Coast Baptist, the one that you went to, and Veritas, the one that I go to, both have online programs.
yeah.
And I'll say this, doing the online program at Veritas has been probably the biggest life changer for me because
Mm,
I can do it whenever I want. I can run it in my schedule. And it's, like you said, it changes you as a person. It really changes the way you see things as a Christian.
yeah.
So I would encourage any teenager, any kid coming out of school or someone that's out of school already, if you're thinking about doing Bible college, take the bull by the horns, do it. Talk to me or Jeremy, because it's yeah, it definitely is life changing.
Yeah, 100%.